Welcome to the PPRFFMP episode 5. Today is June 24th, and we're talking with Paul Sigler.
Woo!
Paul, thanks
Good
for
to be
joining
here.
us.
Woo!
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
always
having me.
always good to have a red team member.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah,
He needs a little support every now and then.
I do. You know what? To be honest, Trevor has actually been pretty good during the blue team episodes, but who knows how long that will last, especially as the competition heats
I
up.
can't be held responsible for any blue team uh comments about the
Any
red team.
any bluegios, any bluegio
Exactly.
blunders?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the podcast would only be the red team, but
Well,
so
we had to have some quality content. It couldn't just be bulk.
Anyway, this is a good time to get
We
started with the interview because that's bullcrap.
we needed to avoid the filler episodes a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
well, that's what I'm known for, Trevor.
That is true. That's why you're on the red team.
Okay, Paul, give us a progress report. Where's your film at?
Yeah, it's coming along. Sort of. Um, so here's my process. I try to not to do anything until the rules video, and then let that spark some creativity. That's the
Mhm.
goal. So then that comes out, and then I usually just kind of think about it randomly for a couple weeks. Eventually, I'll do like a bullet point outline. From there, usually something more like a script, and then filming and such. So I have a bullet point outline at this point,
Okay,
and
nice.
a shoot day actually. So
Wow.
that's good. I got Zach again as my assigned actor for the
Hmm.
second time. So I shot him some weekend options and he was on it.
Who do you think is going to be the guest judge?
I was thinking about that. I went on my run the other day and was listening to, I guess, Aaron and Mitchell. I think I listened to both of them on that same run. I liked Aaron. I think Aaron, it was Aaron that talked about Andrew's dad.
Yeah.
I doubt this is actually the case, but I think having Zach's parents as a guest judge would actually be really fun.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And they would be there all weekend, obviously.
right. They wouldn't even have to drive in for it.
But I think it's probably more likely going to be Dr. Gray, Sandra Gray.
Mm, that'd be a real heavy hitter.
That is likely now that I think about it.
I mean, it's year 5, big year, big
Yeah,
guest judge.
really anything shy of Sandy Gray, and it'd be a disappointment. Actually,
I don't know why I didn't
yeah,
think
yeah.
of that before.
Hmm.
Trevor's asked this most of the episodes, but I figure, we can throw the dog a bone. Would you vote yes for Trevor for council?
Here's the thing about that. Trevor, I love you. We're close. And we've been through a lot together,
Hmm.
you know. However, I think 3 is a really good number.
Mm.
It's a biblical number. And so I'm not opposed to Trevor getting in, but I guess my question is who's going to be out
Mm.
to make room for
Ooh,
Trevor to come in?
There can only be three kind of scenario.
Hmm.
this is a great take. This is why we have
That
Red Team on the podcast.
I know you've
I
talked about some of the things you're wanting to do, but who are you going to be pushing out?
Here's the thing. I'm a man of the people. I will let the people decide. There's probably a clear front runner for somebody to give the boot, but I don't need to say that. I don't want to influence the masses because I want them to
Yeah.
vote with their hearts,
Yeah.
unbiasedly, if you will.
I mean, we do all probably have that person in our
Yeah,
head.
yeah, we all know who it is.
Yeah.
I Maybe after the podcast, you guys can tell me who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about.
So here's a question for you guys.
Okay, we haven't had any questions for us.
If you had to assign like a member of the Trinity to each of our council members, how would you segment that,
Is
organize it?
this heresy?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'll
It,
let you. I'll let you. You're on the red team, Levi. So this kind of feels like that's up your
no,
alley.
I feel like Andrew is clearly the father of the festival, so like I think that works really
Yeah, that checks
nicely.
out.
We all know that the Holy Spirit can just move in crazy ways sometimes, so that's got to be Zach. And then
No, no, I would argue.
I guess by default Josiah is Jesus because their names
No,
both start with J.
I would argue. I would argue Andrew is the father. The Zach is the Son, and Josiah is the Holy Spirit. Yeah, because like when you think of like the face of Party Room Film Festival, I think of like Zach goofing around in all of his films. I feel like
Uh-huh.
Zach kind of
Wow.
embodies that. How does the film festival get
Doing the work.
exactly how does it get to us? I think of Josiah. I think Josiah is the guy that gets us there. Well, Andrew was clearly, we all know Andrew was the initial creator of the film festival. I think that he fits more of the father role there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, we should probably move on before we, actually do get into heresy.
Before the lightning comes down. That's
Fair enough.
probably
Fair
true.
enough.
We'll let the people decide though if there's going to be room for Trevor in that mix.
How much money do you plan on investing into your film?
So we had a baby, right?
You did have
Between
one of
last
those.
film
Yeah.
festival
Nice
and this
work.
film festival.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's a big accomplishment, big change. So we're having to look at the budget, and
Mhm.
there might not be as much free money flowing around for Party Room.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
last year, you all will remember, I got some costumes.
Yeah.
I do recall the costumes.
Trevor, yeah, you would definitely, well, both you guys, though Levi provided his.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it was just a scrappy little thing.
Right, and
that's
Trevor
right.
and Sam's came from the Goodwill. I probably spent close to 20,
Phew.
probably $20 last year, and
Yeah.
so
Wow.
I think I can probably cap it at about 10 this year,
Okay. Wow.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, a 50% reduction in budget. That's a
That-
pretty big budget cut.
Right, I know, and yeah, we'll see how it affects the film. Hopefully, if we start saving now, maybe next year we can,
Yeah.
12, 15.
Yeah.
What do
Something
you
like
think
that.
about you said you've listened to Aaron's podcast. I mean, he was well, we don't even need to talk about Mitchell's budgeting, but Aaron was saying that he was maybe going to spend $50. Like, what do you think about people just being absolutely I don't know what the word is, but like
Unhinged with their
yeah.
finances.
Well, we all come into this thing with a different situation,
Mm,
and some of us do have the privilege of just being able to throw money at the film, and
It's
they're
true.
hungry for the Golden Dewey. I get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like compensating for that with creativity and
Mm.
effort,
Right.
and
Right.
it's
Would
the
you
American
would you say
dream,
that
I
the
guess.
Golden Dewey is like a pay to win kind of scenario? The more money you put in, it
Mm.
directly influences your ability to win.
I hadn't thought about that. How much did you spend last year, Levi?
Nothing. I can't remember spending anything actually.
Well,
You took Callie and I out to dinner.
Oh, we went to Korean barbecue too. Okay.
oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was like 80
Yeah,
after tip.
80. Whew. And
Yeah,
I remember Matt spent like over 100, I think, on his Batman
I
and
think you
Robin
did. Yeah.
costumes
Yeah.
for Bargain Batman.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's probably something that the council should address.
Yeah. Do we need to cap films, budget cap people's films? I
Huh.
mean, but other side, I think last year, I think I spent the most on my film, and I mean, maybe this is a hot take. I think my film was nowhere near winning the Golden Dewey. Just
I don't know.
who knows?
Oh, this is actually a great time to bring up one
Do we have
of
a
the
sponsor for the podcast?
no,
Yeah, it's
actually
HelloFresh.
no. So who do
Well,
you
I was about
think
to be really
who
excited.
do you think will win between Trevor and I this year, like our films?
So I think, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I think that this is going to be a rebuilding year for you, Levi.
Mm,
Mm,
I think you're going to be feeling the pressure to not do another music video,
mm,
which is going to push you into, a new space
mm-hmm.
and new ideas and maybe a little bit of rebuilding. We'll see. Whereas Trevor, I think, I don't know what to say about Trevor's, but you never know what to expect. And Trevor always brings something. Last year, Trevor's was not my favorite of
Oh,
his work.
wow.
of my work. Oh, okay, that's fine.
I think Trevor's gonna pull out something special this year. So sorry, Levi. But maybe you could take the Area 50 Love Award.
What?
You could take it from Jacob. I think Jacob has won that, or no, Matt won it as well.
No, I'm gonna
Matt
let
won it
Jacob
this
take
last
that one
year.
again.
Yeah, I'm glad I got Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a measly Sam.
Good thing he's not doing Into the Bloodline 3.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I know.
That's
That's
what
actually
Cody wrote for him.
yeah. How many times can Sam really lose his bloodline? I mean,
Well, anyways, speaking of Sam, so Sam is who you are up against this time. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Sam is. Oh wait, never mind. Because he didn't even write. He's not writing his.
That was my follow-up question. Do you feel better or worse knowing that Sam did not
Oh
write
yeah,
his own
yeah.
script?
No, yeah. I think I'd feel pretty good actually. Sam's main weapon, as he will say himself, is
Yeah.
his script writing.
that's
It's
true.
his favorite part, and he's written some pretty
And,
amazing ones, as we all know.
Hmm.
But
and we've
I don't
really
know what
taken
Cody
something
wrote.
precious from him.
I don't think we're taking it from him. He did it to himself. We all saw what happened.
Unless Cody just writes something amazing. I mean,
That's true.
you never know.
I wouldn't take that off the table.
It'll be cool to see like Sam's take on a Cody film.
Yeah,
Certainly.
that's a good
I
point.
would want to write other people's scripts. I think that would be fun to give people a stupid story.
Directing a Trevor script would be such a challenge.
Especially because there wouldn't be a real script. It would just be like a handful of ideas that you have to string together to make a film.
It would take me so long because it would have like zombies and all this craziness, all these crazy special effects, and I would actually want to make it well.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I would win because everyone would submit too late because they'd all be working on all the special effects.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Paul, what do you like better, the quote or the prop?
You're talking about specifically this year?
Mm-hmm.
Or
And
just
in
in
case
general,
you forgot, right? The quote is
yeah, I
"Make the
didn't forget.
podcast great again," and the prop is a snow globe.
Yeah, probably the prop. The quote is not even from a movie. So the thing about the prop is, I think you said this, Trevor. There's a bunch of different kinds, or maybe it was Andrew. I don't know. Somebody said with a snow globe, there's a bunch of different kinds you can get.
Mm.
Mhm.
So that's kind of fun because most people's films, I'm sure some of us will borrow each other's, as someone unnamed has already asked me about.
I wouldn't know
But
who that would be.
but I think probably there will be a lot of different snow globes in the different films, which will be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping that someone's film will end where like the whole thing was inside of a snow globe.
You should do that, Paul.
Well,
Was that a little
no
teaser about your
spoilers.
film?
No spoilers here.
I'm really hoping someone does it. I'm gonna do it.
How does it make you feel that lots of people
Mm.
have faith that you're going to be this year's Golden Dewey Award winner?
Yeah, that's encouraging to hear. I've wondered if people have forgotten that I have a baby and the limitations that that adds.
I mean, Mitch got a good film in last year, and he had a baby, so
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
true.
was just about to say last year didn't really count, but yeah, I guess you're right. There was one filmmaker.
mhm,
But this year we'll have two of us.
right?
So that'll be an interesting dynamic. Yeah, I'm, honored that people believe in me, and I I think the idea is pretty solid this year. So we'll see how it turns out. But I tend to think my films are not going to actually win the Golden Dewey.
Hmm.
And maybe the film festival is changing a little bit, but I've thought my style is like not quite party room enough.
Hmm.
Like the zaniness sometimes isn't quite there. Um, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you almost won the whole thing last year, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
I guess on that same breath, who do you think will win the Golden Dewey?
Here's Riley and the baby.
Hello,
Oh,
Leo.
that's right.
Right. I think I'm gonna go with Zach.
Is it
I think
Zach's
Zach's a
year?
good pick.
Yeah, because I actually think the Zach likely would have taken it the past 2 years
Me too.
if he would have had his film in on time.
Yep.
That's fair.
And I'm thinking after 2 years of that happening, he's going to get it in on time.
Mm,
And so I think he has a really good shot.
I think that's a good pick.
I mean,
Yeah.
he always gets the audience vote.
He
Yeah,
does.
that's
And I'm
true.
sure that has nothing to do with the fact that the audience is like all of his friends and family.
No,
What activity besides watching the films do you want to suggest for the weekend celebration this year?
I think it was Aaron that brought up like a competition between the teams. I think
Yep.
that's a nice idea. Like it made me think of the Trustees Olympics
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just like the fun things we would do that week. I don't know, even just like some basic competitions between the red and blue team and get everybody fired up for the night. Doing like a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, quick, maybe like 30 minutes, like prayer time or like testimony, like somebody, we've done the testimonies in the chat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like somebody could give a quick testimony in person. Yeah, that's about it. Don't want to do too much because we also just need a lot of time for catching up. I don't know what it's going to be like for me this weekend though, or this year, with
Yeah.
the baby, as
Right.
far as how much I'll be able to be there. So we got to figure that out. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
hopefully as much as possible.
Let's finish this off with a message to the red team and a message to the blue team.
So the blue team, I've heard that you guys have a name, right?
We
That's the
do.
word on the street.
Yep. Yep. Blue Geo
Is
coming in hot.
yeah, blue, yeah, yeah. So I think that's cute, you know. Um,
I think it's cute too.
but I think it shows just a level of immaturity,
Mm.
whereas just red team is really solid. So I think that says a lot about like the quality of the teams and just
Mhm.
the state of where people are
Mhm.
mentally.
Mm.
Yeah, so proud red team member. I think red in general is just a better color. So yeah, happy to be on the red team. I think we're gonna come out hard. I have read the script for Josiah and it's looking good.
Yeah.
I didn't help at all, but whoever did it, I don't know who did it, but they did a great job.
It was mostly Aaron
Nice.
and Matt. We all brainstormed some, but Aaron did a good chunk and Matt did a good chunk.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's the kind of like team players you have on the red team. All that to say, happy to be on the red team. But in actuality, like serious comment, message to both teams is we better take this pretty seriously because the party room has been getting some notoriety. Last I checked, there's over 50 subscribers on the YouTube
55.
Wow.
channel.
Hmm.
Wow.
And I think that the outcome of this year's festival could affect the election.
Mm.
I've never
Wow.
thought about it that way.
Wow.
You've got the red and blue, and the election's coming up. So all I'm saying is the fate of the country could rest in our hands in the films we make this year.
What wise words.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Paul, thanks for being here. It's always
Go
a
red team.
pleasure. Best of luck on your film this year. And in
Thanks.
typical podcast fashion, I'm
Good to be
just
here.
Hanging
With
out
hanging out
with
with
my
my
family.
family.
Oh, I
Excellent.
don't know if that actually synced, but on my screen, that was perfect.
Yeet. Skirt. Yeet.